We're always looking for new games here on DG360. The algorithms found us something pretty interesting. It's called Behemoth. It's a VR game. Okay, let's check it out. Let's see if in fact it does what we need it to.
Okay, so ironically, out of all the VR games I had the pleasure of playing whilst I was at Gamescom last week, Behemoth is the one I have the most to say about. And now that I can talk about it, I've lost my voice. Seriously, my throat feels about 5 sizes too small right now, and my voice is at least 3 octaves lower. So sadly, I'm going to keep it much more concise and straight to the point with this video. First off, do you see this game right here? Do you know what this game is?
Remind me after this one,
If
Fabi.
you answered yes, then we should probably be friends. Maybe we should grab a pizza or a beer sometime, because you clearly have impeccable taste in video games, and I respect you a great deal. This is, of course, Shadow of the Colossus, a seminal PS2 game that blew my mind straight out of the back of my head when I played it all those years ago. I, and I'm sure most other people, had never seen anything like this before. A mysterious, ambiguous, mystical adventure with essentially no dialogue that sent players on a quest to take down 16 giant beasts with nothing more than your trusty steed,
I don't
a
remember that
sword,
title
a
at all.
bow, and a dream. Honestly, the feeling of climbing all over these varied and incredible
Did he say PS2? This looks way too advanced to be on the PS2.
creatures has stuck with me ever since I played the original, and I've returned to it time and time again over the years just to see how it holds up, and boy does it hold up.
It looks
this game
great.
still blows me away in 2024, even just thinking about that incredible score.
Oh, it's a remaster, okay.
Damn, what a genuine
I mean, shit, I want to play it right now watching this. How did this one get past my radar?
masterpiece. I wish someone would make something like this again, maybe even in VR. How crazy would that be? Flash forward to 2024 and those mad scientists at Skydance Interactive have bloody done it. The team that
So same devs that worked on that title are now working on this Behemoth?
gave us the incredible Walking
VR?
Dead Saints and Sinners are about to blow everyone's minds with Behemoth, a game that mixes the physics-based combat of Saints and Sinners with the awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping and vertigo-inducing giant
shiitake
encounters
mushrooms.
that popularized Shadow of the Colossus all those years ago. Seriously, alongside Batman Arkham Shadow, it feels like these two titles really have the potential to move the needle for high-end VR, and truly Behemoth in particular, whilst running on a top-end PC all maxed out and looking incredible, feels like the first genuinely AAA VR game I've played in quite some time. The short demo I went hands-on with at Gamescom, which you will be seeing a mixture of 4K B-roll and genuine raw gameplay from my session throughout this video, was a perfect introduction to this new adventure.
I haven't really delved into VR personally, other than over my friend Tony's house. I was playing a boxing game that I got lost in, man. I was boxing for like half an hour. By the time I took off the headset, it was a Quest headset, I was sweating like crazy. I was like, holy shit. It was very immersive. And I gotta tell you, man, it almost was the fucking clincher for me to go VR. I've heard a lot of people that have gone VR and never come back. Like it's like all they can do is play VR now. Other people say, you know, it's too much on their eyes and gives them headaches. I can understand that too. Java B says she loves VR. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people never come back. Like once they go in the VR world, they're like, fuck it, I'm staying here. Backspace says VR is great. 6 hours in Fallout 4 VR is something else. Aether says, my concern with VR is the effect the lenses have on the eyes. Yeah. I mean, especially with my eyes are absolute shit. That I worry about that too. You know? Oh, stop it.
I felt the weight of combat. I got to grips with the movement
Only tried it
mechanics.
once, Retro,
I
and really
marveled
loved
at the gorgeous environments, and I went toe-to-toe with the Dread Stag, the biggest of the behemoths we'll be facing when the game comes out this November.
Oh, shit.
In a section of gameplay that made me feel things I haven't felt in VR for quite some time. Okay, in the interest of keeping this video short for my throat's sake, I'll speak today about the main focus of the demo, the Behemoth encounter itself. Now, I do have thoughts about every other aspect of the game that I encountered, and I did engage in a short section of combat, but it wasn't quite enough to form a fully rounded opinion on that particular aspect of the game. At a very basic level, it felt extremely weighty, like a true evolution of the combat from Saints and Sinners. The enemies felt aggressive, and the gameplay is clearly geared towards parrying, blocking, and timing your attacks to capitalize on the...
I mean, good. I want the NPC to be aggressive, to keep it active. You know, my biggest criticism with VR titles, every time I watch NPCs, they're so slow and stupid, not aggressive whatsoever, highly defensive. They very rarely attack. So, like, I like the fact this NPC came down and started some shit and got very actively aggressive. I think there needs to be more of that.
Best moments to break through their defenses. But the way...
And you know what? I kind of like the heavy-handed, like, weaponry. Like, you know, like, it's not always going to be, like, so simple. Like, you got big-ass fucking swords. You're going to have to, like, swing those. It's gonna take some time to do that, man. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig that.
You approach combat is entirely up to you. I can see some players really leaning into the physics-driven systems here to create some epic-looking fight scenes. After all, you can mix and match all the tools in your arsenal to take on enemies, and you can even pick up the weapons that enemies drop on the fly to improvise if you're caught short. Enemies can be dismembered, weapons can be thrown at high velocity, and players have a...
See, they got to tune that shit up. Java says reaction time of VR is very different than on a screen. They got to sync that up. There can be very little latency or lag. They really need to tighten that up. Good comment, Java B.
Rage mode that can be activated to assist you in really cleaving your way through any flesh that stands in your way. It felt exciting, heavy, and certainly not mindless. I just need a little more time with the combat to find my footing and really get a feel for how each encounter will play out. So I'll speak about it in more depth when my full review drops closer to release.
I like that little harpoon action.
Okay, let's get into this. The Behemoth encounter. Facing off against the Dreadstag. Oh my god, what a rush. This is a...
Dudes, like, this would be immersive AF. Like, this is crazy being in VR and seeing something this big that you got to attack. I'm feeling it right now just watching this.
Officially the biggest behemoth that you'll face over the course of the game. Dreadstag is a skyscraper-sized, living, breathing, moving NPC creature that you need to climb from toe to temple, and I have never seen anything like this in a VR game before. One thing I'm always preaching about in VR is the sense of scale it provides. It's something you can't truly capture or convey in flat screen video, and frustratingly, it's one of the biggest selling points for VR as a medium. So let me just tell you right now in plain English, I have never seen anything this big in VR before. I have never encountered anything that felt this size in any video game ever before in my life. And the fact I could climb this creature, all whilst it roamed around and occasionally tried to remove me from its body, felt like a reset for my brain. I mean, I thought I'd seen it all in VR, but scaling the Dreadstag made VR feel brand new again. My previously solid VR legs turned to jelly as I crept ever.
Oh, what was that? Was that like leg herpes? Like, what was going on with this thing? This behemoth needs a check. Goes to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Get that checked out, bro. What is that? What is going on with this behemoth, man? Oh, man. Come on. I don't know if I want to do that.
Higher, and the childlike wonder it filled me.
Look how high up you are. That's crazy.
Solid VR legs turned to jelly as I crept ever higher, and the child...
Dudes, that's fucking nuts in VR. Like, you would freak out if you fell. Like, in VR, you are very much incentivized to hold on to this motherfucker and not fall. That would be terrifying.
Childlike wonder it filled me with every time I took in my surroundings whilst parked up at one of these safe...
He's not even at the stomach yet. This motherfucker's still climbing up on his legs.
Spots on my journey upwards was genuinely magical. After my demo wrapped up, I sat with the Senior Vice President of Creative for Behemoth, Sean Kittleson, and he said something that really stuck with me. Truth be told, he said a lot of incredible things, and his passion was infectious. But I've mulled this particular statement over.
I mean, when you're dealing with an asset that's this big, first off, that's a pretty big thing in gaming. You know, like right now, yeah, it's just a jump puzzle right now, but this is like the first implementation of having something this large in a game, in first person, in VR, an NPC that's this big. It's never been done, man. You're scaling an NPC that's never been this big. So yeah, it's a jump puzzle for now, but don't understate that though, Red Bear. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I'm glad they got this in the game, for God's sake. Red Bear's like, it's just a jumping puzzle. Like, first off, Red Bear, dude, I love what you add to this stream, man. I love it. Red Bear, where's his button? You gotta watch out. He's got the critical soul. He's Red Bear. He's number one. Red Bear. I love his comments, man. I gotta disagree with you on this one though, Red Bear. I'm telling you, this looks fucking awesome to me, man.
A couple of times. When I mentioned my legs turning to jelly whilst climbing the Dreadstag, Sean said they don't ever want to make players feel motion sick, but they are fine with making players uncomfortable. That statement almost perfectly sums up my encounter with this beast. For the first time in years, I felt a small hint of fear and discomfort climbing this thing. I'm not great with heights, and Behemoth reminded me of that over and over again, and climbing this thing wasn't as simple as putting one hand in front of another. Oh no. It's a mixture of climbing, shooting your grappling hook, taking a leap of faith, swinging, mantling, and investigating to find the right route upwards. And honestly, there were a few instances of swinging around the side of this beast that genuinely challenged me in the best way possible. And it isn't as simple as just walking up to the behemoth and then grabbing its leg to start climbing. Oh no, these beasts are also like giant puzzles, and just starting your ascent is something you'll need to figure out. Here with the Dreadstag, I had to use my Empire Strikes Back knowledge to tie the creature's legs together, forcing it down onto one knee to access my first foothold. Now, sadly, I will admit, during my short 30-minute demo, I did not manage to kill the beast, but every time I fell down, I wanted to get straight back up and jump into it again, which the game allowed thanks to its generous checkpoint platforms on your journey upwards. All in all, this encounter with the Dreadstag was my favourite moment from Gamescom, a week packed with incredible VR games and experiences, and I cannot wait to do it all over again at home, where I will definitely be finishing the fight.
Sorry about that, my light is all effed up.
I really do want to keep talking about this game, but I've been cursed with this painful, tight throat, so let me just lightly touch on the grappling hook itself and the visuals of the game.
Alright, I got enough of this. This is crazy. This looks good, and I just really gotta delve into VR. I really, really do.